Businesses 2021 plans and actions. Insolvencies are starting to increase and calls to impose late payment penalties. All of this in the latest Business Finance Bulletin. It's this time of year, of course, that many people sit down and relook at their goals, plans and actions for the forthcoming 12 months, and business owners are no different. As part of their monthly Business Barometer series, Hitachi Capital Business Finance has spoken to 1,107 business owners about their plans for 2021. Now, 83% of those business owners surveyed said that they are going to implement a new set of goals for this year. Now, that's no different from previous years. However, the difference this time is the actions that they are going to take, the things that they are going to do in order to implement their overall goals. So this year, 31% of them said they're going to be relooking at their fixed costs. Now, fixed costs, of course, are costs that you will be hit with regardless of whether you actually open the doors or it doesn't matter about the level of sales that you have. These are costs that you will always have in your business. So it's a good idea to be reviewing them to make sure that you are financially resilient. Next up, 26% of them are saying that they are going to build up a financial reserve. Again, last year, many business owners realized that you do need to have an emergency pot of money set aside in order to cover the volatility in your business, the ups and downs of sales. And lastly, 21% of them are going to revisit their contingency plans. Again, 2020 made business owners realize that perhaps the previous way of doing business is no longer relevant, and they have to have plans in place in order to be able to pivot into different ways of dealing with customers and achieving sales. So really three good priorities there. Looking at two sectors, manufacturing, well, 45% of them said that they are planning to increase their business this year, which is a good positive sign. And 31% of retailers have said that they're going to be looking at different ways to diversify their income stream to make them less dependent on one source of income. So there we are, some good ideas and tips there on what you can do in order to make yourself more financially resilient in 2021. In previous Business Finance Bulletins over the last few months, I've been highlighting the fact that the number of businesses going into some type of insolvency arrangement has been lower in 2020 than compared to 2019. Now, we know the reason for this. I've highlighted them before, but basically it's down to primarily the level of financial support that the government has been giving businesses. This has given them a much needed lifeline, and so it's prevented them from falling into some type of insolvency arrangement. However, it does seem that this trend is now starting to change. The latest figures for December 2020 have been released by the Insolvency Service, and this has reported that there were 1,228 businesses that entered into some type of insolvency arrangements in December. Now, this compares to 891 in November 2020, so that's a 38% increase. If you compare it to December 2019, well, there was a 9% increase compared to 2019 and 2020. So less of an increase, but it's the first time since lockdown that there's been a month-on-month increase. So perhaps this pressure is now starting to build up. Perhaps bounce back and CBILS money is coming to an end, and businesses are realizing that they really can't continue into 2021. Now, there's the old saying that one swallow doesn't make a summer. It's just 1 month's figures, but I think it is now going to start to see this trend going upwards. Now, if you are a business in financial distress, of course, my advice always is to take appropriate financial advice. Speak to your accountant or even a licensed insolvency practitioner to make sure you fully understand the options available to you. Now, if you are a business that is owed money by other businesses, now's the time to make sure that you're in regular contact with them so you don't get caught out by surprise if they turn around and say, I can't pay you. Be very careful of who you're giving credit to and make sure that they are financially sound. So as ever, we could be in for a very interesting and bouncy and challenging 2021. So stay aware. Members of the Institute of Directors are calling on penalties to be imposed on habitual late payers. We know that 2021 is going to be a challenge when it comes to managing cash flow. And of course, one way to manage your cash flow position is to not pay your invoices on time. But this doesn't do the economy any good, or obviously any individual businesses any good either. Now, the IOD has carried out a survey amongst its members, and we probably caught this late payment issue soon enough. 51% of them surveyed said that so far they have seen no deterioration in their late payment experience. 30% of them have said that they have started to see an increasing trend in late payments, but 9% of them have said they have seen a significant jump in late payment. Now, of course, one way to avoid late payment is to make sure that you've got a very robust credit policy in place. Make sure you've got clear terms with your customers as to when you expect payment, and if they are late, that you have a very robust credit collection process. Don't fall foul of late payment. It could be the difference between your business succeeding and your business failing. Well, that's it for another bulletin. As ever, I hope you found it useful. And if you did, please don't forget to give it a like and a share and subscribe to this channel. So that's it. Look forward to being with you next time. In the meantime, have a great, successful and safe week.